Namaste, Jai Bharat. I happened to hear a discussion from Pakistan, from Pakistani uh, YouTubers. I think it's by that gentleman who is very reasonable, uh, critical patriot. Many times I like his expressions. He tries his best to be objective with his perceptions. And there are other two panelists. One is, I remember his name, one is one Bhatt. He seems to be from, he is from Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This Bhatt is a Brahmin title, Bhatta in Sanskrit. The great Nyaya thinker, Jayanta Bhatta from Kashmir wrote Nyayamanjari. Then, of course, Annam Bhatta. Bhatta is a Sanskrit expression which becomes Bhatt. There are Bhatts in Gujarati, there are Bhatts in the South India. Many places there are Bhatts. Bhatts are there throughout like Sharmas. Their universal title in Bharat, within Bharat. They are normally Brahmins, not normally, essentially Brahmins. So this person's title is Bhatt, and he was so vehemently arguing for the people of Kashmir. That's Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which they call as Azad Kashmir. And what kind of Azadi they have, or from whom the Azadi they are thinking, is a question to be thought of. So he speaks, he tells, uh, he says Pakistan is not one nation. Pakistan is a provincially fragmented nation, of course, which I'm sure Muhammad Ali Jinnah knew much, much before Rahmat Ali even dreamt about Pakistan. Of course, Rahmat Ali never acknowledged, though he really thought of Pakistan. He says that you divided, you wanted to come into existence in the name of religion, Islam, and he very strongly argues, saying that you are a different Muslim, I'm a different Muslim. He says the Punjabi Islam is different from the Kashmiri Islam. That's what he was trying to speak. In essence, he says another thing. He is very openly was contradicting the theory which Muhammad Iqbal was trying to put in Allahabad address way back. He was arguing that Islam is a unity, but actually it was not a unity. It is one of the dreams of Muhammad Iqbal. He was a philosopher supposed to be, but much more of a dreamer than a philosopher. Speculator, in spite of he lives in Bharatiya background, he should have had some knowing about the method of philosophy in Bharat that is experiential instead of speculative in Europe. He was simply speculating in romantic kind of unity. He speaks of Islam as a unity, which never had been the case and which shall never be the case given the internal contradictions of their thinking pattern, system, structure, etc. So the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, he was speaking for them. And they were very vehemently discussing about Junagarh, and they were accusing the administrations of those days of not insisting to obtain Junagarh. They should remember they kept that aspect of history concealed, that when there was a kind of opinion poll in Junagarh whether to join with Pakistan or with Bharat, then about 99.9%, 99% people of Junagadh wanted to be in Bharat. Why Pakistan is now repeating Junagadh is that Junagadh was a sultanate. The Junagadh was ruled by a Muslim ruler, who, of course, along with the dogs, had fled to Pakistan after partition. And the Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's father was one of the ministers in Junagadh. Now, because of this, they just because there were some Muslims in Junagadh, they assumed that Junagadh is a Muslim majority area. No, they were given an option of this opinion poll whether to join with Bharat or with Pakistan, nobody voted. Practically nobody voted towards Pakistan. That's the story of Junagadh. And Junagadh is in Gujarat. And Junagadh is also, is also a place to where Muhammad Ali Jinnah belongs. And Jinnah is their archetype godfather. And they are very touchy about Junagadh. But they have no, even Jinnah has have no roots in Junagadh. His grandfather was Hindu who was exporting fish, dry fish probably, to Mumbai. So the apna Gujarati Hindu boycotted him because he was getting into this nasty business of fish. Gujaratis are mostly vegetarians. They would, they don't, they won't stand for non-veg, and especially the fish-like things into the stink. Maybe to others it may smell to me, but it stings really, hopelessly stings. Another thing is that stings to me is egg. So that's very personal. That's very personal. So, so in anger, Jinnah's grandfather joined Islam because those days Islam was popular, floating in Junagadh. That did not make the entire Junagadh Muslim majority. And they are trying to compare that with Kashmir. They are trying to compare that with Kashmir. This is the kind of mistake they do. You just can't claim Junagadh. It never had been in your hands only because that Muslim ruler was there. That doesn't. And the Muslim ruler's Islamism, you see, he gets a Sindhi to become his minister, as if there's nobody in Gujarat to make minister out of. Now that kind of thing, and about the Junagadh ruler, people know about his attitudes, and then finally he left. He reached Pakistan and died as nobody. That's a kind of welcome they gave him, and that's a claim they have of Junagadh. That they keep speaking, but this discussion in the critical patriot, one should say, it's a long one. It's a long one. I was just hearing it, doing this, doing that, walking up, continuously hearing this talk. And this person, this Bhatt, they write Bhatt, but it's pronounced as Bhatt, Bhatta in Sanskrit. He was so desperately arguing for the people of Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. He was not speaking in favor of Bharat, but he was speaking in favor of their own identity. Of course, it's subsequent that their identity, or whatever they call, is rooted in Bharati knowledge tradition. Otherwise, there is no Kashmir. Until there is Bharati Sanskriti, there is no Kashmir. And the Punjabis, really, he's speaking something which is very important. There's a kind of Punjabi version of Islam and hatred. It's the Punjabis who hate Hindus. It's the Punjabis who implant hatred in the children's mind right from day one and get this terrorist activities more organized. Not the Baluchis, not the Pathans. They love Hindus right from beginning, long back in time, and others, and Kashmiris, who is enemy of Bharat in Pakistan, Punjabis. And those Punjabis are enemies of Bharat because they ceased to be Punjabis. They are no more Punjabis. They don't even write Punjabi in Punjabi. They don't speak Punjabi properly. I studied in Punjab University. I did my BA from Khalsa College. You have no Punjabi qualities. Actually, you are a disgrace to the Punjabis of Bharat, who are very popular for honesty, straightforwardness, and valor. You don't have any of this. And you're not hardworking. Punjabis are popular, famous for their hard work. They be very industrious, hardworking. Not Pakistanis. Not Pakistani Punjabis. You have nothing to do with your ancestors. So you betrayed your ancestors to an extent of punishment, which you keep getting, should keep getting. So this discussion was very interesting, and I found a lot of truth which people speak in it. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Sri Ram.